love Tatty. Just give us bubble.
Invites are out.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, man. That's cruel and unusual.
Have you guys seen the Arctic wolf changes coming in, by the way?
I have. Right, what are they doing to it?
I was just laughing at the fact that they're up armoring the pirate's bane. Like, yeah,
all of them.
Yeah.
All locusts are getting armor buffs.
Bloody hell they are as well. And the cheaters.
Yeah.
User disconnected from channel.
Those are the changes coming into the Arctic wolves. All variants.
Where do I sharpen pitchforks?
Debrief. It's a 12 CT armor, 10 left and right torso armor, 10 armor to left and right arms.
Wow.
And 10 to left and right legs. Minus 15% overheat damage and 5% extra heat dissipation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the most devastating mech in the game.
And then the individual variants get extras as well, depending on the variant.
Is there a reason for this? Like, I didn't think the Arctic Wolf was struggling that much, to be honest.
No.
I thought they were gonna nerf it into oblivion. Instead, they gave it a fucking superpowered suppository.
Okay, so in all fairness here, it is one of my most favorite mechs. It's one of my most mechs. And for a low price of $1,000, you too can have whatever mech upped to whatever you want, just for a low price of $1,000.
I want a commander with an AC-20.
Sorry, I'm missing this reference. $1,000? What? Where?
You just pay the programmer $1,000 and they'll change it in the next patch.
Right. I thought this was a reference to how you got into the vaunted cauldron. You just paid something to PGI and they let you in.
No, you just call them up, pay the $1,000, tell them what you want, and they change it.
Honestly, that's crazy.
I can deal with the $1,000. It's the bi-weekly fisting that just no.
Now, for an additional $1,000, they'll keep it for a month. The problem is if you pay $1,000 and you don't pay the additional $1,000, the next person can turn around and nerf your mech on the next patch. So you gotta be careful.
How much do I have to pay to hear Russ Bullock say decal?
You just have to buy enough of them.
That's Jeff Bezos' money.
Frosty chocolate decals. Oh, nice.
Fireflies are good.
40 ton and under. Okay.
No, I'm not taking the article. I just happened to be looking at it earlier.
I'm just
He's a
looking
liar.
at the spider variants. I'm like, it's put minus 5% laser heat on the Spider 5D. It's impossible to put enough weaponry on that thing to make it overheat in the fucking first place. Like,
Yep.
The problem is they're doing whatever they can to get people to play the mechs that no one's playing. Because they're going through the algorithm, they're seeing what everyone's playing, and they're just trying to up the mechs that nobody wants to play because it doesn't meet meta. So now they've changed the meta, right? They're going to change all the mechs so that the meta has to change.
well, that's not. I don't know. That doesn't hold for the Arctic Wolf because everyone was already playing it because it was already devastating. Yeah. That's what, well, I
But
don't know,
as
the
Rocket and
Cougars-
Davros have previously sung, you cannot beat the meta. Of course I tried to beat the meta.
Yeah, I don't buy the meta explanation. The Cougars and the Incubuses in there. Those are both awesome.
What the
there's
hell
in
is
there.
going on in the background?
That is
You're indoctrinating the little
sanity.
Teletubbies already.
yeah, it's sanity preservation. So Erin gets to watch some telly time, so that he gets to do something else.
Nice. Good mech.
The Shadowhawk is getting a decent bit of love, which is nice. There's a mech that has been power crept.
Yeah.
It's basically getting structure and armor quirks, or extra structure and armor added. I don't know if the extra armor is going to be counted as extra weight, or if it's just magically going to be appearing.
I assume it'll just be like previous buffs, they just add an extra 5 points of the armor. So even if you strip the armor off, that will always have 5 bonus points. That's how I remember them doing it.
Hmm.
I mean, to be honest, my
Alright.
only beef with the stock 2H was the lack of ammo.
Oh, cicada love. Look at all the cicada love.
Centurions are getting in quite a bit.
Hellspawn's going to be tanky AF.
Yeah.
Crikey. Nice.
That's some heavy firepower.
Thunderbolts, Nova Cats, those are also going to be interesting. Timbers are, again, haven't been seen too many.
Bloody hell. You weren't kidding about the Centurion. Plus 22 CT armor.
Good. Where's my dragon get plus 22 CT armor?
Oh yeah, that's why I said he's evil before. No one realised that he put it on that server.
That's why
So
I
I've
changed
not
the
been
topic to
sleeping
the
well,
Arctic
so
Wolf
I
so
wanna-
quickly.
Reactor online.
I thought it's because you put it on Terra Therm.
Weapons online.
Oceanic, huh? Alright.
All systems.
Don't we invite?
online.
Just dropped on. I don't even think it lasts too long.
Oh no.
Override engaged.
That night about me and the Oceanic servers. Oh, the hero
Ice
one?
Spirits have had some impressive changes.
The what, sorry?
Ice
The
Ferrets.
Ice Spirits.
Battle Fridge.
The Fenris.
I still have one of those. I want to make it work. Because it's so ugly, it's cute.
They can work. It's just they're a bit
six-pack
more.
of cores in
They're
it.
hit and run. Whatever build you make for them, you've got to hit and run with it.
Are we supposed to meet somewhere, or are we just following them?
It's just a fight, I think.
Yeah.
The way I always ran the Ice Ferret bug was just a bit like a commando. You sort of ran in, you dumped an alpha into a target when the good fight starts, and then you just back out and let other people take the hits.
It's a bit light.
Yeah.
I'm good at the running in and shooting part. I'm bad at the remembering to run away part.
Yeah, its hitboxes in this let it down because it is just a big rectangle on legs.
But it is good to chase down on the lights.
Yeah, it's right. Especially if you mix the omnipods right, you can make it a really nasty street mech to chase down lights.
I think the one I have is pretty much built that way. Given my penchant for streaks, it is.
I remember a long time ago, Eiselcrow quit using a streak Ice Ferret. Because he always took this, he had this spider build. Do you remember it, Davros? Eiselcrow's spider build that he always used to harass us with? It's gone. Probably got eaten by the dog.
The salt gunning.
No, he needs the salt. It's his lack of salt when he goes to hospital.
Tell Dorby to stop looking at the excess salt.
Up here in Michigan, we have Salt Lick and Malin one.
Here, weapons fire.
Target sighted.
Ah, I got shot from behind.
called oceanic.
Critical. Acquired.
That didn't go well.
Oceanic is a fun server.
It's a weird and wacky world.
Down is up is down.
The water drains the wrong way.
I was just thinking that too.
And the stars are back to front.
It does take quite a bit of getting used to that the sky changes when you move hemisphere.
Of course, the one that I like the most for the cicada is the one that gets almost nothing. Minus 5% heat. That's it.
Heat is the most common across the board for what will be changing.
May as well just do away with heat entirely in the game, just like everyone's alpha strike forever.
Well, that was the thinking behind MechWarrior 5 when it first came out. We won't do heat scaling, just Alpha Strike.
I think that's where people are starting. Yeah, the second, not classic BattleTech, but the Alpha Strike, because you just add up everything and you just average it out. There's no tactics. Just shoot everything.
Yeah, that's nice.
The bestest of the mechs.
His most best.
I mean, it is number one on my 3 go-to clan mechs.
In this, I think my go-to clan is always an adder. Just because it's straightforward and simple to play.
I mean, that's the same way. Summoner, they are really simple to play with.
The 3 weapon groups are the best, sort of set.
Let's look at the Marauder 2 as well. The 4A is getting a PPC. You can find extra PPC on the 4A without heat penalty.
Don't really see many Marauder 2s anyway, do you?
No.
They're so freaking slow, it's not even funny. I mean, by the time you make a 360 turn, like any other normal heavy or assault can go around you 2 or 3 times.
That
Yeah, I'd take one out occasionally.
PPC means you'll be able to do 3 heavy PPCs on that. That's a lot of clan salvage.
That's all the salvage box have is clan max.
Oh, okay.
Oh, add minus 30% crit chance when you're hit. All maulers. Wow, that is so much better.
Yeah, machine guns are... It's stupid they buff machine guns now, they're adding negative crit chances to the bigger mechs. It doesn't make sense. Why not just nerf the machine gun crits?
I kind of hate that specifically for the Mauler though. I feel like it should be crit susceptible, considering it's based on a mech that accidentally ejects the pilot if you punch it in the wrong place.
Reactor
I was about to say that.
online.
She keeps
Because it's all
comparing the
based off
DMX.
the meme's based off the
Online.
toy, isn't it? Where you
Yeah.
push the button
Yeah.
on the toy and it fucking ejected it. Because I had the same thing with these. So.
Override engaged.
Is it the Dabaku or something?
Yeah, the MX-90 is the double bill.
Show no mercy.
And next week we'll have ramps to climb the outer walls.
Yay! So entire matches.
So rather than fix jump jets in the game, they're just putting
Acquired.
ramps on everything. Cool.
Well, they got
Fatty
to. So
jump jet should be buffed.
the assault mechs have to be able to get up on the walls and shoot at them too, right?
Yeah, what else are you going to do with your large laser snipers?
But which place
It's
will
a
still
good
remain
on Dave Mirror.
in situ. The placement for HQG will not be changing.
Ah, good, because I like to lurk down there sometimes.
Contact left.
New target acquired. Target acquired.
Eyes on! Enemy contact!
Did someone just airstrike the top of the platform?
Yeah, just to push it back to the edge.
I was wondering, like, what?
Target acquired.
Nice, hitting the front,
New
so calmer
target
down.
acquired. Missile. At 25%. UAV activated. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Left arm critical.
Christ.
New target acquired.
Fuck at that. Take my chances fighting the man with an open CT than run after that frigate.
Medium pulse laser destroyed. Right arm critical damage. Heat level critical.
I was going to fight you alone, but then there's two of you. I see how that works.
Oh, right, well, I didn't invite anyone else.
Small
So,
pulse laser destroyed. Left
I thought they were all
arm
going to chase down
destroyed.
the Varg over there, but no.
Right arm destroyed. Left
Ow,
torso
ow,
critical
piss,
damage.
midget,
Left
fuck,
torso
ow.
destroyed. AMS ammo destroyed. AMS destroyed. Ammo explosion detected. Heatsink destroyed.
Ow.
This was body blocking.
Ow.
Enemy has started to chip away at us. Stay frosty.
Right torso critical damage. Right torso critical damage. Autocannon destroyed.
Calm down. Don't let the hostiles take down any more of you.
Your only hope is if he runs out of ammo. Oh, thanks.
Mission
Oops.
successful.
Oh. I died. I mean, that's not
I
running.
fell in a hole.
That is true. I watched.
Like I was doing the disco dance for me on my screen.
Yep.
Yeah. This mech just doesn't die easy. It goes for the Oscar.
Disco Inferno in the house.
He goes for
You're
the
only saying
platoon
that
death.
because he's missing one leg there, Varg. Come on.
I like that MRM Wolverine.
Oh, Rocket, you know Dark Side of the Ring Season 3?
Yeah, what about it?
Have you tried Daily Motion for the videos?
We did try to. Me and my brother did try to find some of them, but the website we were watching them on didn't have them at that point. So I'll have a look on Daily Motion.
I managed to download everything except for episode 3, which was the Nick Cage one. But I managed to watch that today on Daily Motion.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to have a look then. It was interesting seeing a few of those episodes, especially the one about China, because I heard some pretty horrific stuff in that one.
I mean, we were watching the Collision in Korea one today, and that's a fucking weird one.
How many salvage boxes did you get in total? Wow.
Sounds like you're doing pretty well out of them too.
Yeah, no duplicates so far. This is good.
Oh, I've been watching the UWF Beach Brawl, the Herb Abrams Coke Fest.
No.
Oh my god, that's fucking horrendous.
Most
They had
of
a
the
street
stuff
fight
with
that
Herb
ended in a
Abrams,
double count out.
Can you guys who are fans of wrestling confirm something for me?
Go on.
I heard that AEW brought back CM Punk and
Yes.
WWE is bringing in Jake Paul to counter.
No, they had Logan Paul appear in the fucking crowd again. But yeah, CM Punk did. He came back on Friday night.
Yeah, he was the worst kept secret for a while.
I mean, he fucking came in with another skate.
I want to watch it.
I don't know if it's the full thing, but I can send you the link to the YouTube channel.
No, we've got a dodgy link that has all the
Oh,
AEW
right,
and
right.
WWE
See,
stuff. So
I did download it, but yeah, he pretty much goes on to say that he left professional wrestling when he left Ring of Honor.
ouch, scathing.
Well, yeah, no, he's he's basically just he was saying that WWE isn't wrestling, which bad about admission it isn't now.
NXT between 2013 and 2019 was really, really good. And pretty much anything with Undisputed Era was just awesome.
I only bought him one ice cream. Like everybody in the whole crowd.
If you were to take any of those wrestlers, put them in a ring, and say,
Reactor
"All right,
online.
no choreographing.
Sensors online.
You actually are going to fight this out for the winner," they'd all stand there and look at each other and go, "I like who."
No, if them could do a shoot style match, they just like really go for it.
Engaged.
The Big Show is a frightening human.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with any of them. Like, no.
Remember, these are guys that, yeah, everything's choreographed, but they really do bump. They do train to take a hit and to throw themselves off stuff.
No.
Guys...
I didn't say they're not good athletes. I'm not saying they're not good actors or showmen. What I'm saying is you know, they couldn't fight to save their souls because unless they choreograph something, they're fucked.
I mean, they have had that happen with the Brawl for All, where they basically took a load of wrestlers and made them boxers for a few weeks.
Fucked everyone's career. Knocked fucking shit out of them, yeah.
Yeah, ruined like 3 careers.
I don't really think it matters. You know, being hit by a guy that size, it's still gonna fucking hurt.
Wait, well, some of them, you know, like the former door guys and stuff like that, so they cloth him with one hand and you ain't fucking hearing for a week.
That's like the only one I've heard who got his ass kicked a couple of times was Shawn Michaels because he was such a little bitch. He got beat up by a bunch of US Marines at one point because he tried to get off with one of their girlfriends. They dragged him out the car, British Bulldogs in the back, he couldn't get out the car to help him. I just imagine him sat at the back going, Sean, I can't get the seat down, Sean. Hit him, Sean. Don't let him stomp you. Oh, what he's doing to you is just illegal.
Heard you work this door handle from Goldburn, I can't think.
The Bulldog was awesome, but he didn't come across as the brightest fan. No.
I was playing
I'm in the Royal Rumble.
Bret Hart does the best impression of Bulldog.
Oh, I've never heard him do an impression of Bulldog.
Oh, I'll find it for you. He basically just goes, I'm fucked.
I mean, I love finding that prank call from Owen and Bulldog to that pizza place. Sorry, they were the pizza place. They walked to a random woman in the hotel.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
I don't have the artillery.
New target acquired.
Hey Vogue, do you know what she took back to you even though I shot her
New
before?
target acquired.
Yeah. It's hit hosts in this game are so broken. Where's my arm? Not me.
Oh Jesus, I'm not walking around that corner.
Like, I just did massive damage.
He's got a scratch.
That was a 70-point
I barely felt it.
Good job, soldier.
Liar.
I never lie.
I like the bar going
At least
to the
not in
road,
your
just
face.
Almost just went execute.
I had no weapons.
I shot all your weapons off and just turned around.
I was confidently stomping up behind him, but then it's like bang, one dead. Bang! Oh shit!
Well, that's because Tigger went round and Alpha striked Armus. I shot him in the back the same time that Armus shot him.
Proper Dutch door action.
Aye.
I was running fan on the Thunderbolt because that's getting large pulse quirks on Tuesday.
Ah, the wump boat turns.
Yep.
Cannot wait. More pulse lasers, better pulse lasers.
It's getting, large pulse lasers. I think it's getting a heat reduction and something else.
Does my Black Knight gift?
No, I don't recall anything for the Black Knight, but there will be changes, I believe, to all the chassis over the coming months.
Forever unloved.
The Black Knight didn't get anything on this one.
One of these days, someone's going to log on to MWO and they're going to get fucking seizures from the amount of pulse lasers.
And the dire whales are getting some interesting changes as well.
Oh dear. I haven't got there yet.
Don't forget that the fatty jump jets were buffed last patch.
Speaking of which, the Highlander 2C got a bit of a buff. Crikey.
Did AEW get a large infusion of cash? I'm looking at the CM Punk appearance, and the production value has gone way up since the last time I watched it.
Well, they are owned by the guy who runs the Jacksonville Jags.
Yes, mainly because I'd forgotten about it when I typed in 80.
So 75 to 100?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, they brought in a lot of old school veterans in there as well, so they've kind of helped bring the production value up.
Firing more than one SRM, MRM, or rocket launcher results in a heat spike now? 1. 2 LRMs.
Where do you see that?
I'm looking at... I got a Mauler that's got, like, a lot of MRMs. And it's got a loadout error. It says firing more than one SRM, MRM, or rocket launcher simultaneously results in a heat
Does it
spike.
have an MRM-40 on it?
Oh yeah, it's got a few.
Yeah, so the warning comes up if it just says the whole string of things, whereas it means if you put 2 RM-40s on it and fire them, it will cause a heat spike. Or an MRM-40 and any other type of missile at the same time will cause a heat spike.
And firing 2 LRMs causes a heat spike.
No, it does not. So you can fire 2 LRM-10s at the same time and it won't cause a heat spike. It's just telling it you in a fucking stupid way, basically, because you've got an MRM-40.
If you fire an MRM-40 and an LRM, you'll have a heat spike, yes.
Yeah.
So it's like different firing circuits, to explain the lower style of it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cut down on alpha strike, see?
Well, basically, if you're firing an MRM-40 and anything else at the same time, you're a bit of a bastard. Because that's quite a lot of firepower.
But as far as I know, you can fire 2 MRM-30s without any problem.
I'm just looking at the MWO discussion boards on Steam. Second topic here, posted 3 hours ago. Remove light and medium classes.
What?
This point, he says, at this point, might as well remove both light and medium classes from the game. They aren't played outside of organised matches, if that exists at this point.
Yes.
You gotta look at discussion boards, right?
I'll be back in a bit, guys. I'm gonna take a nap.
Alright, sweet dreams.
Take care.
Take care.
You're a little work
Thanks,
shy
guys.
bastard, Davrox, that's what he is. Oh shit, the mic's on fire.
See you guys, have fun.
That's it.
Take care, Dev.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, they look good. I can't wait to have a look at some of the Innisphere redesigns.
Back in a sec, I'm just gonna pop kettle on.
The way me and my brother reasoned it, Totty, is that we decided to get all the Innisphere Lancers and the Comstar ones, and we got one star because it has the Kingfisher in. I wanted that. But the salvage boxes with the main box should give us enough clan mechs anyway, so that's how we looked at it.
Don't lie, you bought yourselves a 3D printer and you're going to scan and make your own copies.
That would be amazing.
I'm looking at a picture of...
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there any way to late back that Kickstarter?
Have you looked at the Kickstarter page, just to be sure? Because if it doesn't have a button on it, I don't think you can. I know.
Send them an email, ask.
Yeah, they did do some. They did do a late backer thing, but it was a while ago. Don't know if it'll still be running now. I know once they fulfill all of the orders for Kickstarter backers, those Lancers and stuff like that will be going into stores.
Well, that's something.
So we were playing A Time of War the other day,
Yeah.
And my companion book, it's called the Time of War Companion. So one of the guys, he spilt a jug of coffee. So he's like, I'll just get you another one. I'm like, it's been out of print for like 10 plus years, man.
Oh shit.
So the only place he could find one was on Amazon, and the guy on Amazon wants $2,200 US for it.
Holy shit.
Fucking hell, that's some coffee.
It's the most expensive BattleTech book I've ever seen.
But it's only like 100 cups of coffee at Starbucks, though, right? So
Yeah.
they'll make it.
More 25 at least.
Damn.
This is why you don't let other people use your
I'd
book.
say you get 200 if it's Forces discount. Oh wait, no, fucking Starbucks don't do Forces discount because they're wankers.
Do they
They'll do
actually
it for
not?
fire service.
No, they
but
don't.
No. They'll do it for public
Reactor
services, but
online.
Forces now.
Yeah, they caught some
Sensors
flack for it a couple of
online.
years back.
Weapons
Fucking hell.
online.
And their response basically, no, fuck you.
All systems nominal.
Yeah.
Everyone must
They
pay.
didn't want to be seen as condoning war. It's like, alright, we'll take fucking random drop it and let's say you're condoning war, you dick.
Yeah, really. It's like, who's pandering to the woke society there?
I'd drop them over the whole fucking tax thing, to be fair.
I mean, it's been funny watching everyone go from being vaccination experts to complex geopolitical fucking warfare experts.
What, over Afghanistan?
Yep.
I'm an expert in all these things.
Were you deployed in Afghanistan, Pulse, or was it just Iraq for you?
No, I just did Afghanistan. I was supposed to go to Iraq and I trained for it, but then it was too late in the tour to send me out.
Well, what's your view on it then, with obviously the evacuation and all the rest of it?
We should have pulled out when Bin Laden got popped.
Well, I only ask because there's a lot of people who say that it's disrespectful to those soldiers who were wounded or were killed there, that kind of thing. So, I mean, Coles, you were there. I'm just wondering what your opinion is, what your view of it is.
Disrespectful how?
The reality of the situation is that sometime they were going to have to pull out, regardless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of an unfair thing to say, well, it's disrespectful. I mean, at some point, you're always going to have to pull out of a war zone. So, that's not a fair statement, in my opinion, as an ex-soldier.
Yeah.
And besides, a soldier's job is to do what they...
I mean, you could argue, well, then, that when Saigon fell, that was disrespectful to Vietnam veterans and people that... But it isn't. It's our job.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, it sucks knowing that a lot of people died on a frivolous freaking act. Don't get me wrong, it's stupid. The war was senseless, but...
I mean, I did some good when I were out there.
That's just a stupid statement, disrespectful.
Yeah, we tried to help raise the quality of life, and in the end, it didn't work out.
If things are what they are, and whining about it isn't going to change it.
The very big reality of the situation is the people in the country have to want the change more than the people that are trying to stop it.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to ask. It's such a... I thought it was a very strong thing to say that it was disrespectful. Again, with these people that haven't been there, I can't really have... I don't think I could have a particularly strong opinion, because again, I didn't experience it, so...
We all technically experience it one way or another, it's just some of us experience it in a more visceral way than others. Because it affects all of us.
Yeah.
Crap, overheated.
I noticed.
Now that was disrespectful, Naman.
Well, I didn't want to say people take on the team, so I thought you might.
weird.
Look at these, what do you think I am, fancy?
Oh, Totti, you took yourself out.
I'm easy, but I'm not cheap.
Sorry, Course, just wanted to So as soon as I saw you pop up again, I had to fire that LB-20.
Yeah, that was enough to put me over.
I don't think you can put enough heat sinks on this thing.
We joined each other in death.
Oh, by the way, Culture, is everything alright with the server now, after the unfortunate technical issue?
If you want to get technical, all the backlash is from the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, we just ended up having to restart it.
Okay.
Once again, I argued with the wife. She's like, she doesn't like what's going on over in Afghanistan. I said, history repeats itself every single time. Look at, like you said, Vietnam. Look at when the Russians pulled out of Afghanistan.
It's because I just looked in Afghanistan. There's a reason it's called the Graveyard of Empires, for fuck's sake.
That's right. I mean, every single time someone goes in that area, it all ends up the same way.
It's basically the perfect defensive setup. It just sucks for people like, there's a guy I used to work with who was he'd been a translator over there. He was an Afghan native, and then he'd been given not citizenship but right to remain. So he got over, and his wife and his daughter had come over, but he still had all his extended family living over there. And he basically said at the time his only fear was exactly what's just happened, because of what he did. There's,
he's now counted as an enemy.
Yeah, he can't go home full stop, end of, or he'll just get killed.
Yeah.
And his fear was that that would be a black mark on his family, and his brothers and etc. just disappear one day. That's the side of it that really sucks. Like, we made friends, we made allies, we promised people things, and then we've not followed through on it, and it puts people in horrible situations. But that's not the fault of sort of anyone that's been there and done it. That's the typical political bullshit, isn't it? That, like, it's not convenient for us to be involved anymore, and everyone's attention spans wandered off onto something else. So it's like, oh, we'll pull our troops out now, without actually considering, well, what happens when we do. That's the bit that pisses me off.
I mean, there's that, and they also could just disappear over the border into Pakistan, and the Pakistan army wouldn't do anything about it.
True.
I mean, you've got the Quetta Shura that's based pretty much on the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and it's one of the main sort of splinter units of the Taliban.
See, what I don't understand, I mean, I got a buddy who's come back, and he was explaining how he ended up serving alongside some Gurkhas. And he said that they were out on a mission, and they needed to get identification of the person, and the guy cut off his head.
Don't mess with Gurkhas.
Yeah, Gurkhas are thorough.
So, in my opinion, is why the hell didn't we get all those Gurkha regiments together, just stick them in Afghanistan and say, okay, do the job?
Because they would run and hide, and when they thought they had the advantage, they found out they didn't. As the guy at PB3 in Nari Siraj, there was like a single Gurkha who was left at camp, and he basically fended off an attack by himself.
Yeah, something like 20 or 30 guys. I heard about that.
Yeah.
They are some bad
My
motherfuckers.
mates were out there. They were attached to. I can't remember who they were attached. I think it might have been the Gurkhas they were attached to as well. But they had a whole big operation going on. It might have been around supporting the Hornets' Nest stuff. When they were basically building a road, and British forces would go out and make themselves seen by the Taliban and pick a fight with them, just so that civilians wouldn't take flak off the Taliban.
So, Naman, you want heavy? No, sorry. Kolsh, you want the heavy?
Yeah, go on then.
Or the assault?
I mean, either or. Which one do you want?
Doesn't matter.
I'll go heavy then. Need you in the big one so that you don't run off and go, found him.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. No way I'm gonna get away with this sucker.
What are you gonna say, Tati, sir?
The upshot is that the Taliban are offering what they captured on social media to purchase. Fingers crossed.
Jeez.
What I don't understand is if you're gonna leave, and you're gonna leave all that stuff,
Blow it up.
exactly.
Don't see the thing about the biometrics.
You can't tell me for one freaking second that the Canadians, the Americans, the British, the Polish, the French, none of those guys don't have explosives enough or bombs enough to do the job. Like, set the goddamn thing on fire.
Park it all in one place and drop a mob on it. Like, just do it all at once.
It was all parked in one place.
No.
Well, I guess they'll use that against Pakistan when they attack them.
Reactor online.
I mean, did you hear about the biometrics thing though?
Weapons online.
No,
What's that?
Basically, we had a device called handheld interagency identity detection equipment, and it did everything. It took every single, like, even DNA records and stuff. And the Taliban have captured them all. Now, I don't know if they've purged the database, but then, yeah.
They'll have access to the database if they do it properly, because you'll be able to get the feedback, the returns from the devices. Yeah, there is a way to do it. People are not supposed to know that, but yes, there is a way to do it.
There's always a way. Like, to do literally anything. There's they'll figure it out. They're not idiots.
They're never gonna know.
I did enjoy the fact that one of the guys stated he was a helicopter pilot, so he took one of the captured helos out and crashed it immediately.
Jeez.
God, that's like some out of armor, that. Oh, don't worry, I fly helicopters all the time on armor. Boom.
I'm wondering if he was heading for Laos as well.
No, with that guy, I think he was trying to dodge the draft and get to Canada, but he was a bit dyslexic. And he tried to go for Cambodia instead.
No, it happens with pretty much everything, doesn't it? Like, so the Taliban had their weapons that they used to throw off the Russians half the time was captured ex-British stuff, and then they took the Russian stuff, and then they've been using the Russian stuff against us now, and blah blah blah.
Target acquired.
Necessity.
Yeah. Look what I found.
Acquired. Warning, incoming missile.
What the hell?
Wow. You ran around the building after me. I went the opposite way, got behind you and blew your arm off. I wasn't looking for that fight.
target.
I just wanted to pick on the slope. Just like Tigger does when he goes after the simple.
There, I was wondering how long I was going to
You're not supposed to call them scorpions anymore. It's the nursery challenge.
Differently able.
See, this just reminds me of when I was with McDonald's. I sat down, we were eating some food.
Well, for kinetically challenged.
She was born in the 50s, right? So she occasionally says things like, coloured people. So you have to correct her. Obviously, she's we're discussing. When she's talking about TV show, she says, "I what's the show with this queer fella?" I said, "Mum, you can't use the word queer anymore. They're like that, like in that term. It's just not. It's not the dumb thing." She goes, "All right, what do you call them?" I said, "Today you call them butt pirates." She spat her food out.
The pirates and men's pants.
Can you please stop kicking our asses today? Let us win once.
You did.
You did. You did the assault one.
The last one, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me and Rocket joined each other in death.
Yeah. I managed to kill Kulch just before I got murderized by an Atlas and someone else.
And I was chasing down. I think I was chasing down Kolsch and died in the process.
What the hell did you hit Tigger with, though, Hammer?
That was MRM 50.
Ow. I just saw his mauler come around and just dead.
He was at the perfect range and he couldn't move.
Three mediums and a heavy. Did anyone play the Back for Blood open beta?
The what?
Back for Blood. It's the game by Turtle Rock. It's basic. You could go Left 4 Dead 3 basically.
I didn't know it existed.
Right. Yeah, it's basically zombies are swapped out by ridden, which are basically seems to be people either taken over by some kind of bioweapon, worm-like parasite, or alien worm-like parasite. I can't tell. But they still act like zombies. They still run at you and try and beat you to death. And there's special infected that play very, very similar to the ones from Left 4 Dead. So there's like a boomer one, one that grabs you, another one that spits weird goo at you. So it's very gross. It's good though. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy the price.
Does it have the thing that made Left 4 Dead the best thing ever? I.e. the ability to play as the zombies and fuck with your friends.
Yes, they have that mode in there as well. This one has like a weird deck building system now, where as you go through the campaign, you draw a card from your deck that will give you a buff in some way, so a little bit more carrying capacity, or more health, or better defense, or more stamina, or extra ammo. But every mission also comes with a couple of debuffs, so it'll be something like, these enemies do slightly more damage when they hit you, or there's an alarm going off and there's constant hordes attacking, that kind of thing. Or there'll be challenges like, make sure everybody gets to the level without anyone being killed. You get bonus copper. You spend that on upgrades and stuff at a shop that's in each soup, so... Outside of that, it plays exactly the same as Left 4 Dead. Should be given the prize. I wanted some of the metals, but they were very expensive.
Has anyone bought Orcs Must Die 3?
I was very close to buying it, but I held off because I heard a lot of people saying that it was okay but not great. Like they were saying the second game was better.
There's a lot more options in the third one. It's harder.
Right.
Reactor
I love it.
online.
I'm having it.
Sensors online. Weapons online.
I just wish they would have incorporated the maps from the second one into the third one as well.
Well, you need more levels. That's what people
All hostile. Show no mercy.
Give it different enemies in there as well. It's cool. What the hell? They changed it again.
Well, the map's changed again.
Yep.
What have they done now?
The water, I'm assuming.
The water, and there's extra bridges again.
Oh well, looks like the race wars track is going to be dated immediately.
It's the water that's added.
We drained it out.
Yeah, I'll have to remember that.
Wait, take a note.
Contact.
Did you instantly jump?
Who are you asking?
Oh, fucking Imus.
Sorry, say again?
Saying, did you fire your Ultra 10s and then it instantly jam on you?
No. I just stopped firing.
New target.
What the hell happened to the team?
I went.
Yeah, from the look of things, a combination of Armus and Uncle Totty happened to the fucking team.
Target acquired.
Like, what the hell, Armus? Can't you play like that all the time?
It's best to use the first one if I ever run on that cap.
5%. Target acquired.
It's only a couple of
Ow.
Here.
I was turning to try and fire them out as he went to those dead.
They had some learn bout, and I was able to get into the learn bouts. And even though I couldn't do any damage because I had heavy machine guns and flamers, they really focused on me.
Yeah, that did help.
Can you throw me into spectate, please, the man?
Will do.
Dinner's going to be ready in about 10 minutes.
Well, with the way the games are going, you could play 2 more matches before you have to leave.
I've got to help out with some stuff, so.
Yeah, so let's go with 4 heavy mechs.
Alpine Twin Peaks. Ugh.
Did you say 4 heavies?
4 heavy.
And of course, my group gives me a hard time because when we play, I still use cardboard chits instead of actual models. But like I tell them, you got to measure off the base anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
Sorry, I'm just trying to clear my mouth out. I'm sucking a fisherman's friend, and I accidentally took a sip of coffee at the same time.
Oh, sweet Jesus. That cannot have been a good combination.
It was not.
Oh, Naman, with the server, if you find anything that's in the water again, like last night, try and call a daisy cutter on.
I died about half an hour before that, and I lost my RTO privileges when I respawned.
Right, yeah, you have to go back to the role selection screen and then back in, otherwise you can't get the privileges back.
Online.
Weapons yeah, I respawned at the fob, so...
All systems nominal.
Command to all warriors on the surface. Your task is to wipe away all hostiles. Show no mercy.
Override engaged.
Like I said, you can try and call a daisy cutter on it. That's what they do recommend in the server first.
That's oh, Toddy, forgot to...
Or the other one is using RPGs.
Yeah, all those elementals you have on you.
Totty's in his mad cat, is he?
Oh, yeah. That looks pretty hilarious.
Oof, savage. Straight up.
Contact.
That's another nice try.
Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
It's also on sync. Everyone, Charlie.
Enemy spotted.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. Critical.
I was hitting DPC. You can see it hit and blow up.
Shut down.
I didn't know to mention that.
New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. Acquired. New target acquired.
Bask in the glory of your triumph.
What the hell does that elemental? How the hell did you get elementals?
Did you hear me laughing about that?
I thought it was a paint scheme or something.
No,
It is.
he had elementals on his mech.
That looks cool.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
That is cool.
I could have sworn I saw a wolfhound.
There you go, Tigger. In the chat.
I thought it was a paint scheme. It just went on your mech as a paint scheme, not as an actual thing.
It's a bolt-on, isn't it officially, Totty? Yeah. There was mention that the elementals have been exceptionally popular, and they're looking at doing a rework for purchase as a bolt-on and battle armor for the IS side.
Battle armor?
Yeah.
Define.
Well, essentially the IS elementals.
I did not actually see it, sorry.
Grey Death did a range of battle armies, didn't they?
I gotta go look. There's lots of battle armor groups.
Yeah.
Aren't there two types of what is basically the standard one? And it's basically minor style and details. They basically look different, but
Oh, what's the
Dead-
one
dead
that they
to-
use in Living Legends? Longinus battle armor? or
Yes,
something
yes
like
it is. Longinus or Longin, it's depending if you want to pronounce it.
Longinus.
I think Longinus is the bird.
Yes. Wait, is it Stana? I thought it was W. I thought it was New Avalon that produced. But then again, actually,
Well,
at that
Grey
point in the
Death
history, there's no
version-
distinction.
The Grey Death version would have been up in Steiner space.
I would also. That might just be my bias showing everything cool as Davian.
But it would have still been at a time when I think it might have been.
They'd have been allied at that point anyway, so it's split in half for the sake of it, isn't it?
I can't remember because the Legion are vaguely active at the start of the Civil War. But I think it was afterwards, they were in such a shit state afterwards that they decided to fold the Legion and became Grey Death Industries.
The Grey Death suits all listed as Commonwealth.
Oh, I've got a Nova. I didn't know I had a Nova.
Vauxhall Nova?
The Nova S.
You wouldn't be admitting to owning a Vauxhall Nova, Kolsch.
I'm trying to
That'd
stay
be
on
an
target
Opel
here.
Nova.
I wouldn't. Being Opel Corsa, there was never a Nova, because Nova means does not go in Spanish.
Ah, right.
Which would be a fucking brilliant name for a Nova, to be fair.
It's like the Pajeros. Pajero in Spanish. Blanca.
I love things like that.
Did they come up with that because some Mexican guy would have called him a wanker? Hey, that sounds vaguely awesome. Yeah, we'll use that as a car name.
We had a Spanish lad who was
like
working with us who
Gaijin.
kept giggling every time he saw one.
Yeah, we need a vaguely, not Russian sounding name. What should we? Oh, yeah, let's go with Gaijin. What does that mean? I don't know. Sounds cool though. The next one I'm expecting is Guaylo, which is, I think, Chinese for
Reactor
foreign devil.
online.
Yep.
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Would that be a Hong Kong-based firm then, Kolsch?
Your task is to wipe away
Yes, that will be.
hostiles. Show no mercy.
I will be exclusively making MechWarrior hentai games. EG7 are giving me the go-ahead. I mean, you'll laugh, but that would probably sell.
It
Probably not wrong.
But it's a new market to get MechWarrior fans into it. Ooh, played that hentai game. Why don't you play it being the actual thing,
New markets. Is this game finally launching on Chinese mobile?
Target acquired.
It's the whole added tentacles on the back.
Or Tigger.
Oh.
New target.
with them. Don't kill me. I'll buy a cookie. No.
I can't read. That's gonna be my low mark. I couldn't fire my weapons without overheating like at all.
That was why I was trying so much.
Completely killed it. Oh well.
Yep.
Left torso critical damage.
That explosion went off.
I got a KMDD from Totty killing himself. And that is my peak for tonight.
I thought you were going to say, and that's how it's made.
I mean, at least it weren't the double figures that I were getting at the start. But that is the equivalent of hold mouse button down and wiggle mouse about every now and then.
Oh yes. I do love
4 heavy machine guns and 8 8 light pulses, small pulses.
Yeah, mine was 10 heavy small lasers, 2 micro pulses, and 4 heavy machine guns. I think its effective range is like about 110 meters, but if you're inside 110 meters, you're fucking dead. I don't give a shit what you came in.
Yeah, I know.
But then, you know, someone blows off one side torso and you're basically crippled.
Sorry.
That's it. Don't be, I was trying to murder you.
I was only trying to take that one torso.
55 tons do I actually have? This is the question.
Do you have a Gwyffin?
A Gwyffin? I have many Gwyffins.
Oh well, Gwyffin's a 55 tonner.
Gwyffin, Shadowhawk, Vegan Eagle.
Shadowhawk.
55, huh?
A Whirling Dervish.
Actually, I have 7 Griffins.
Shadow. Bushwhackers.
Stormcrow.
Ooh, Butch and Luke.
Or you can go full meta and take a Wolverine.
I only have the Quarantine.
It's pretty bloody good back.
But I want to walk
Everyone's
up and
tired
down
after
the.
last year.
I want to walk up and down the crowd, licking them.
You're only meant to lick the windows.
It was a shame what the WWF did to them. Before they fucking went to the US, they were fucking hard men, and then they just became idiots that pranced around, fucking swinging their arms and licking people.
Oh, you talking about the bushwhackers? Yeah, I was thinking then, like, which one is it? Oh, yeah. New Zealand's finest.
What were they called originally? The sheeper? Something stupid like that.
Lasers online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
I hate it when this hits weapon loops.
Override engaged.
All hostiles, show no mercy.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
What the hell? Were we all supposed to take storms?
I just took a 50. 55, I should say.
They changed ghost heat.
Yeah, they changed ghost heat.
Okay, because I was getting 60% off of one fire shot now. I'm like, what the fuck?
Slow down a second.
Well, how many small pulse can I fire now without having ghost?
5.
I'm fucking 6 on the one.
Fire more than 5, you get ghost. Watch top.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
What were the rules?
55.
My bad, sorry. It's close.
This was the sanctity of the rules.
New
Just been
target
cast out.
acquired.
Sent to some bits of Tartarus.
It's behind us.
New target acquired.
Tigger gets his revenge.
Why?
New target.
Necro line, Tigger's revenge.
I think I killed you in the last match, or the match before that.
Damage. Heat sink destroyed.
Delta C2.
All remaining. Crush the coward.
Acquired. Heat level critical. Level critical.
Bask in the glory of your triumph.
I was curious enough to get out first though.
I just took too long on aiming that last volley. Wanted to be sure. That was a good fight.
There was no retreat, no surrender for either side on that one.
Well, there was a bit of a retreat round the corner.
Yeah, it was.
Oh wait, I forgot French doctrine. It's not classed as a retreat. It's just a viable tactic. We are not running away. We are just advancing in the
Yeah, you
different
can throw me in.
directions.
No. Burger won't go cold by then.
Do grand melee. Do we have a preference for weight class?
I'm gonna go whatever.
30 to 70 tons okay with people?
Why not?
30 tons it is.
Sorry, what?
Where are these patch notes with the ghost heat changes?
They're back
themselves a ghost.
Months ago, yeah.
there. 30 tons.
30 to 70.
Oh, okay.
Look, are you just reading off the young ones verbatim from the script or something? I know instantly, as soon as you did the Justin Belowski's medieval torture hour, I got the image. I cannot not say that like Alexi Sale.
We'll be back after this. Snaps us
Hail Macadamian.
How exactly would you like to be tortured? Do you want your ass sucked up by a goat to replace my hot toffee apple?
One of the few things that I did buy through an iTunes account. I bought me dad the DVD and then bought it myself on iTunes.
Oh, my brother went. One of his friends brought down it was the collected VHS box set of season 2. It ended up in my room, and I think from about 8 until maybe about 13, I just used to have those tapes on cycle all the time. At one point, I could just line for line quote every single episode, uninterrupted, of Young Ones season 2.
You said Alexis Hale, so now I've just got the theme song to the Alexis Hale show stuck in my head. Who's an ugly bastard and as fat as he can be? A-L-E-X-E-Y-S-E-Y-L-E.
I think my favourite Alexis Hale part in Young Ones is when he's Harry the Bastard. But he's masquerading as a South African driving instructor from Johannesburg, dressed as Dracula, Bela Lugosi style. He's just got this really terrible South African accent for the whole thing.
Transvalian.
Yeah, it's a Transvaal, yeah. I am the driving instructor from Johannesburg. Driving instructor from Johannesburg,
Reactor
prove it.
Online.
How?
Sensors
Alright, what should you never do when you're approaching a
Weapons
humpback bridge?
online. All systems nominal.
When approaching the humpback bridge, you should look both ways and then rip out everyone's its front. We found that you are a vampire. We're not letting you out. Then he does an advert for pop. He tries to snort a pot noodle. One of the favourite Young Ones bits I like is where Vivian's trying to get Rick to admit to being a virgin. And he's been chasing around the house, and at one point they're upstairs. For some reason, Vivian's got a howitzer. And Rick's just stood by the window and go, Vivian, where'd you get the howitzer? I found it. Well, you just put it back where you found it, young man. I will, just as soon as I'm blowing into pieces. He starts firing. He's point blank dodging a howitzer shot. He shouts, act on every time he fires the gun.
Didn't he do that on the University Challenge one as well, when he throws a fucking steel engine?
Oh yeah. He just like he puts his foot through the bottom, kicks
It's a grand mellow.
and then just goes act on.
I just wanted to be able to say I shoot you at least once.
Who's the richest person in the world? It's me, isn't it? No, I'm sorry, your father's multinational class this morning. Oh, Jack! It's someone pulls for that. Because this Footlights College Oxbridge, which are all the successful comedians versus the down and out comedians from Scumbag College.
Yeah, Scumbag College was the Manchester College ones.
It's great. It's like Hugh Warrior and Stephen Fry being there as the bad guys. Tigger, are you trying to take off, or are you just running up the bloody runway over there?
I was wondering how long he was going to be left alone up there.
I've got an urge to listen to 11 plus 11.
It's not like he can run, is it? I mean, everyone can see his name on the book. Hey, Gumby.
Just seeing how fast it was going to take for you guys to come and kill me.
Well, I mean, you're trying to hide.
Are you inside the rock?
No, he was behind it. You can go behind that rock all the way over there.
Like I said, I just wanted to see how long it takes before you guys come and kill me.
I saw a match with the Stealth Raven a long time ago that was hiding behind there. Everyone was running around for ages. Oh, Kolsch, how about pirate radio that's run by an actual cycloptic pirate? He's got an iPad over his one eye.
You hostiles are remaining. Crush the cowards. The enemy has started to chip away at us.
It was just not Mete.
Oh, I see, Gumby. You're hiding up there with him. Ah, I see. Old Totty Gumby has made an evil alliance with the Canuck over there.
Varg is a backstabber.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Get into the flying V.
I'm waiting for Rocket to shoot Totty in the back now.
I'm not shooting him in the back, he's got Ultra 20. Oh, sorry, Totty, I was shooting him there.
Sorry, Amos, I couldn't resist.
No.
I was just looking at the rifle and just...
I had just survived that fight was close. And then you come right behind me.
I watched the whole thing.
I thought when you powered down, I thought, oh come on, I can hit him with the AC-20 now and finish him off. And then I went, whoo!
I was busy doing a little landscaping and then you shot me.
Kind of had to go
why are you shooting?
Yeah. Oh no, I perfectly understand.
Tigger's taking himself out of the fight.
He's just advancing in a different direction.
Typical French Canadian.
Do you want to fight out here or try and kill Varg?
How far away are you? Jesus.
Yeah, we're around the hello. Yeah, he's got 85. He's over there, that ladder. Oh, charge! You bastard! Oh, that's my CT armor there. this won't last long. Oh, the first shot's gonna kill me. Here we go.
I looked at your loadout, Mark. No wonder you took it down so quickly.
Yeah, it's disgusting the amount of firepower you can put on a vulture.
Especially the bandit. With those torso mounts.
That one was, what was it? 6 SRM6s and 6 small pulse lasers.
I don't even know if my wub hammer could stand up to that.
Depends. Because you fire a bit faster and you're a bit more concentrated. So if you can pick out the CT, then I give you decent odds. Also, it's a little bit down to the RNGesus, isn't it? Of like where my missiles actually land, because you can only be so precise with a huge swarm of missiles.
Did you get attendance?
It is done, yes.
I just want to make sure I can close it.
I was going to ask you to remove Raiden on Discord as admin.
I've been kicked.
I can do that.
Oh, 6 SRM4s, not 6s, sorry.
Wow, actually I'm not supposed to do it until the end of the meeting today.
Okay. Yeah, I can't change his admin status because I'm only an admin as well. So there's no more news then regarding what's happening with our call, or?
I don't know why they got rid of him. I haven't asked. Like I said, whenever you get in past DC DO, it's all a fucking game of politics. It's who likes you and who are you sucking up to, and yeah. Raiden wasn't playing the game right. He wasn't sucking up.
I was just curious if they promote or were promoting somebody else up or not.
Probably. Some probably fucking know mine who's been kissing ass. Been here like, oh, I've been here a year and a half, so I'm 25 and I'm a snowflake, so I should be in charge. Why won't you listen to me? Because you're an idiot.
Oh, okay. If that's it, then I'm gone. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yes, yeah,
And yours.
Take care.
Here,
Have you seen the link I just sent you?
Opening it.
Alright, what's up?
User disconnected
Cheers,
from
boss.
your channel.
Oh yeah, no, he wrote me a big email.
Okay, I was just curious if you'd seen this or not.
Yeah. I didn't get to talk to him. He hasn't said anything to me yet, but
I only spoke to him twice, so yeah. Oldham, did you find the patch info that I sent you though?
Yeah, this game is getting stupider and stupider.
That document will at least be updated as the patches get done, so at least you can see the changes when they go live.
it's a completely new game. And every time they do a patch, it's a completely new game.
Yeah, but there's 6.5 people who they ask. I mean, they're telling them how to do it right, yeah?
It's difficult because you need to balance it, and you buff one thing and then do you nerf the other or buff the other. I think it's going to be very hard to get correct. It's going to take quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, I said like several months ago that those changes to the small laser weapons were stupid. Damage buffs were not necessary because they already put the larger lasers out of business. So then they're like, well, let's slap growth speed penalties on there now because they're too OP. Like, no, just roll back your damage changes, you dumb fox.
I'm in agreement with you. I was looking at the armor buffs that are occurring, and you're going, if you're needing to buff armor, it's because weapons are doing too much. So that's probably where we should be looking. It could be.
What the game would? I can only imagine if they were to put the weapons back to what they're supposed to be. You know, normal heat, normal weapon damage. Can you imagine the anarchy that would happen?
You mean basing it on something that's been tried and proven tabletop for over 50 years? No, that wouldn't make too much sense.
The tabletop works with tabletop, but it's not pinpoint damage, which is the issue in the first-person shooter. So I get that the numbers will have to be different from tabletop. But where to get it right is not something I'm prepared to, would be prepared to stick my head on. I think the hardpoint inflation hurts because it promotes putting little weapons into everything. So my mech has 12 hardpoints. I put the smallest weapons on all 12 and it's good.
Yeah,
pretty
DPS.
much.
DPS is king.
Yeah. For a pinpoint game, yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, how long did Tigazuzio last against Manova? For that exact reason. Was it about a second and a half?
Well, you came over top of the ridge line and hit me, and I was like, oh, well, that didn't even have a chance to turn.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
I agree with that idea, Totty. Yeah, I agree with that.
Which is ironic, because I max out my armor in the CTs and the torsos in every mech.
Totty, I think the problem with that system, as good as it is, there are too many people ingrained now with the idea that if they shoot the lasers or weapons go where they aim, that there would be such an uproar if that kind of system was brought in. They'd probably lose people.
They can make it so that you need to put a target in comp in order to fire over certain weapons the same amount of time. Then people would actually use the targeting comps.
Again, that would be an interesting if making those more viable. But I just think there are so many people now ingrained the way the game works that they just wouldn't accept it.
Yeah, I think to have something along those lines, you'd probably need like MechWarrior Online version 2.
Maybe.
Am I mistaken, or was there not something... I know it's in the fluff part of Battletech, but the hotter the mechs became, the more inaccurate the weapons became?
Well, piloting became harder because the mech itself was so hot. The human component is the one that's going to break down in the mech first, right?
Yeah, no, I seem to recall. I think it might have been on one of the fluff books, though, that the pilots would complain that once the mech moved beyond a certain temperature, yeah, the lasers weren't actually going where they were being aimed. And that would be interesting.
Some will have quirks like that written into them, and there is, I can't remember which source book has like a list of quirks for every single mech, and some of them may have that, but by default, not really, unfortunately. As much as, again, that would be a good way of being able to sort of get players to curtail heat.
Yeah, your RNG on your accuracy goes up the hotter your mech gets, so yes, you'd have to try and keep your heat down to get more accurate shots. But it's like everything, you think you come up with a solution for it, and let's face it, 10,000 people trying to min-max something, they'll find a way around it.
Oh yeah, no plan to lose contact with the enemy.
I mean...
you get that as soon as like that last idea. As soon as you do that, it's like, okay, well, I'll put one heavy sniper weapon on it, and I'll stay around the edges and play that game. The shadow cat at the end of every fucking game guy would instantly be validated. Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
it seemed like they had a good idea a while back. They were going to do something, I forget what system it was, but you can only fire so many weapons at a time, and then it would be an amount of time before you could fire more weapons. I don't know if it was tied to heat or ghost heat, but I always thought that would be better. Yeah.
Energy draw system, yeah, they were talking about that for a while.
No, they actually implemented it, and then they just sort of abandoned it on the test server.
The power gamers didn't like it.
No, there was a lot of complaints about that. Yeah, essentially an inverse of your heat for power, and then the two operate in conjunction with each other.
It's all trying to put the smoke back in the bottle, though, isn't it? Realistically, because it is like, it's like you said earlier on, the man. It's the hardpoint inflation that's killed it. Because like, if you play a game like Titanfall 2, for example, that has limited numbers of weapons on each Titan. Each Titan has a specialist role, exactly the same as battle mechs are on tabletop. And that works in the first-person shooter sense, because you're not really allowed to bugger about with things too much. So you pick the role that you want to be in, whether that's a tank or a sniper or whatever. And you can manage the game within the known capabilities of that mech, whereas the amount of freedom allowed here just lets people go absolutely nuts and create tons of unforeseen issues that I can imagine actually sitting down with a bunch of spreadsheets and trying to balance it is just like nosebleed territory.
They don't sit down with spreadsheets, you just go and DM the 4 people who are in charge of it, and then those 4 people tell them what to do, and they're like, sounds great, we'll do it.
Shit.
I'm supposed to be in a meeting that's on right now, but no one's on the meeting channel.
Just post that you were there and then get out of here quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck, you mentioned Titanfall 2, didn't you?
Yes.
User left your channel.
Let us know what day you'd be able to play that. I'll get it downloaded, because I've never been able to play it in like a group thing multiplayer.
I kind of meant to kind of grab you at some point last week, but I was that fucking ill with that vomit book I was using. I basically spent 2 days sat staring at YouTube doing bugger all else.
You were researching for work purposes, Bob. Come on.
If we wanted to play Titanfall 2 instead of practice, I've got it. We could do that sometime. I'm sure a lot of people have it.
Yeah, I had a quick look at. You can set up lobbies on the what's it called? The colony defense wave thing. That's 4 players at a time. But I mean, if there's a bunch of us that want to kind of split up into little groups and do it, then that's fine. But also, yeah, I'll figure it out when I'm free, and I'll shoot you a message over.
Yeah. I'll remember to download it tonight or tomorrow.
And we can always just like send up a flare in the Discord and see if anyone's about at the time, and then get some more peeps involved. Because it's a stonker of a game. Right. On that note, though, I've got to run because I'm going to go and make some tea.
Yeah.
Later, man. You guys all have a good week.
TTFN.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch snooker darts on ice with Todd Lundy.
We'll enjoy those.
Strip sex snooker darts on ice with Torval and Dean.
I was trying to keep it PG for the younger viewers.
That sounds more like Eurotrash.
It does, yeah.
Oh god, I miss Eurotrash.
That was a great show.
Antoine de Con. That dude just...
Alright, I'll be off, guys. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.
See ya.
User disconnected.
Yeah, I'll catch you in a bit. Coach checking out?
Yeah,
Camera checking out.
User disconnected
Have a good
from
week.
your channel. User disconnected from your channel.